Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course, and we are pleased to be joined by Jace Denmark of Pabst Racing. How's it going?
Great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Okay, so before I ask you any questions, kind of tell everybody just maybe a little bit about yourself.
I'm Jace Denmark, 17 years old. I live in Arizona. Some hobbies of mine are guitar. I like to go camping, shooting range occasionally, and I have an interest in aviation.
Nice. We'll get more into that a little bit later on. And also tell everybody what car you're driving to.
Right. I'm in the Pabst number 23 USF 2000 car.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure of that. So, you had a great weekend this week. Of course, the USF 2000 kicked off the season at St. Pete along with the rest of the road to Indy and as well as IndyCar. Won the first race and came home P2 in the second one. Your teammate Miles Rowe came in first in that race. We'll hear from Miles next week. So how did your weekend go for you?
It's a pretty ideal weekend to start off the season with good points. Points is everything in a championship series like this, and I'm happy to get the highest risk track out of the way with good points. So I'm very happy about how it went.
So let's talk about how you got into racing. First off, what kind of interests it? What kind of piques the interest of? I want to go fast. I want to possibly get in one of these open wheel cars.
Well, I've done a ton of karting, way too much karting. I don't know if you can get too much of it, but I started at the age of 5. There was a kart track just around the mountain from my house, and some kids from school had some kid karts at this track, and we kind of tried it out, and it went from practice on Thursday nights to, okay, let's do a couple races, let's go to California and do a race, or let's go to Indiana and do a race, or let's go to Florida and do a race, let's go to Italy and do a race. So it kind of evolved and snowballed into kind of what it is today, and I've had a lot of karting experience, which is an open wheel type feel, and it's all GP circuits. And so I thought open wheel formula cars were the thing for me, and it's what I like to watch. So
yeah, sure. So who's the driver that you looked up to? There's got to be somebody.
I mean, I don't want to sound like the rest of them, but watching the Senna documentary at a young age really kind of drove me to be a race car driver. I would have to say the idea of Senna and everything that surrounds it is very intriguing for anyone to be a race car driver.
Of course. Okay, so I know this season, this is not your first year in these types of cars. Of course, you were in USF 2000 last year. But getting this opportunity with Pabst, what's that been like?
I think it was probably been the best racing decision I've ever made. Having the experience with them the previous year, and having the ability to sign with them last year, to have my first season with them, the learning curve was immense, and they helped facilitate that all the way. And I'm still learning now, like everyone does, but just being with Pabst has been awesome. Great cars, just the team synergy, everything is just really going well.
Okay, so we're 17 years old.
Yes.
So you're also kind of you're still in high school. So kind of talk about that, because I know a lot of racers, at this type of level are under the age of 18. So kind of talk about where you are at and where you go to school, because you go to actual school and still compete in race.
Right. It's Difficult. It is very difficult. And it's something that, as I move out of my junior year of high school, I will be doing online school. I will not be going into in-person classes. And it's for the better. It's going to take a lot of stress off my shoulders, and I will be able to have time to really focus on racing full time. Not that I'm not doing that already. I'm basically just going 150% right now. Um, yeah, it's nice to have the high school experience as, growing up. It's just nice to have, the social interaction of everyone, and it's just nice to be at school.
Of course, a private Catholic school out in Arizona is heading. Um, so going into that, managing all that, I'm surprised you even. How do you manage your time throughout all that? I want to know that because in high school there it's like literally thing after thing after thing after thing after thing coming at you. How do you manage all
Right. And it makes it worse because, well, I wouldn't say worse. It makes the course more rigorous because of it's a college preparatory school. So it's accelerated learning and all of that. I feel like Google Calendar has recently been my best friend, and sticking to a routine. Routine really helps manage my time.
that?
So, waking up at a certain time, doing this and that, and having a set specific goal for homework and racing work and all of the above.
Yeah. Well, you're gonna have some time off from racing there from between St. Pete and by
Yes.
the time you get to Barber, which is at the end of April. What are you gonna be doing during that time?
Well, this coming Friday, I will be camping. Just kind of take the load off. But after that, focus on school, try to get as much of that out of the way before Barber and the Barber test, um, beforehand, making sure everything's all settled and doing a lot of sim work and mental coach work, nutrition, working out, just trying to squeeze every ounce of my free time,
Yeah.
quote unquote, to be ready for Barber.
Yeah. Well, appreciate you making time to do this. So this is fun.
Yeah,
Uh,
thanks for squeezing me in yourself.
yeah, I have jam packed. Some days I have a jam packed schedule myself, and you're talking to different NASCAR, IndyCar. We had Connor Daly on today, so yeah, definitely some fun stuff there. But let's get to know you a little bit, Jace. How about that? Let's get to know you outside of racing. Just man, this is gonna be fun because a lot of people don't know who you are, and it'll be fun. Okay, so you said earlier that you were into flying.
Yes.
What kind of got you into that?
My dad has a private pilot's license,
Yeah.
and we have a plane, just a small single engine plane, nothing crazy. But the idea of flying and everything, it's just being able to travel on a three-dimensional level, and all of the kind of personality traits that come with being a pilot are really intriguing and good things to have. It's just it makes for a better critical thinker. And it's also awesome because, you know, before with karting, there would be a lot of races in California where it might be a 4 hour drive, but a 2 hour flight.
Right.
So it was a really awesome time machine, if you will.
Right. Camping. Where did that interest? I mean, everyone loves the great outdoors.
Right.
This I feel like I'm going to make a plug for Camping World. Um, so what got you into that? Obviously, everybody loves nature, and when you're in Arizona, I mean, you literally have all these parks around you. I mean, you have the Grand Canyon around you too. So, how many?
Right.
What's that been like? How often do you try to get out and just kind of take your mind off things for a little bit?
Right. Camping is a really good way to do that because you're just you, yourself, your friends. Um, out in nature, kind of away from the hustle and bustle of Phoenix. It's also the inspiration for it all is Arizona because it's such a beautiful state, especially right now. You can go north and there's snow, or you can go south and there's Mexico, or you can go west and there's California. There's a lot of great options and locations for really beautiful places, and it's nice to be there.
I just heard something for a minute. Um,
Yeah, it's my cat.
oh, fun. Um, so yeah, I got a friend that has two cats who actually lives right in New Mexico. So yeah, fun stuff. Um, do you have any other? Do you like any other sports teams? Are you into all that, or are you just racing?
I'm pretty much just racing. I've never,
That's how most racers are. I see.
yeah.
It's just whatever. I mean, do you watch any other forms of racing? Do you watch? I mean, like sports cars? Do you watch NASCAR?
I don't usually watch NASCAR that much, but I mean everyone follows Formula One and IndyCar, and some cup racing, and then usually IMSA. I have a couple friends who are running LMP threes and twos and all of that. So
Yeah, I do too. So
yeah.
when you've been around as long as I have. What's your like go-to place for I don't know what's your go-to place for food out in Arizona?
For food,
Yeah.
I mean home is. I mean I love cooking
Besides that,
homemade stuff.
you can't say your house.
Right. Okay. In and out. It's exclusively West Coast, right?
Yeah,
So in and out is the best, especially after a workout. Just pound a 3x3. It's pretty awesome.
especially when you know that you can burn all of those calories
Yeah.
off. So are you a night owl or a morning person?
Morning person. Morning person for sure. Like, the Arizona state flag is a sunrise. So it's sunrise and a sunset. Um, and it's just absolutely gorgeous to see everything kind of develop in the morning. And then also it just feels like you have way more time in your day.
Yeah. Um, and finally, name three things people may not know about
I'm left-handed.
you. Hey, me too.
Sweet. Yeah, I play guitar.
I,
I
s-
build guitars actually.
that's cool. Yeah, I saw you before we hit record. I saw you have a guitar in your hand a little bit.
I did. Let me just show off my guitar wall real
Sure.
quick. It's right there.
Uh,
Everything's inverted, but I built that red one.
oh, you built that?
Yeah.
How long did it take you to build that?
Well, it took me a day to build it, but a couple months to gather all the parts and stuff.
Yeah. Um, there's a guy out in Phoenix that works at NASCAR Communications that literally has a guitar wall in his Zoom background.
That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, it's fun. Matt Humphrey, you have the best Zoom background if you're watching this. And what's another thing people may not know about you,
Uh, I mountain bike.
Jace?
I mean, I don't know. There's not too much mystery.
Well, people are just starting to get to know, like,
That's
potential
true.
fans and stuff. They may not know about you that much. So, now
Right.
so, but anyway, Jace Denmark, thank you so much for coming on and talking with us. Congrats on the very successful weekend this week. And we'll see you in a couple months at Barber. We'll have you on again sometime later this year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for having me.